Hello and welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. It is Wednesday. Because Wednesday.
Mid-August. It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista. After returning from Heimdall, we were given a whopping 5-day summer vacation before the school year resumed.
5 days summer vacation, boys.
Turns out, Thors sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's holiday. However, nobles are allowed to visit home, ostensibly to give them time to become familiar with their family's holdings. And, as you might expect, that meant most students from classes 1 and 2 spent summer away from Trista. Meanwhile, classes 3 through 5 were stuck on campus, envying the nobility as they studied and trained as usual.
Except for Laura, but I wouldn't be surprised if Eustace was gone. I see seven of us.
The other members of Class 7 and I chose to stay in Trista as well, facing the heat with our fellow students.
So is this like a free day? Like, what is it? Or is that it, then school's gonna start? I'm lost. Very long black screen. 8:30. Oh no, we're all here. Alright, all 9. It's so hot, I'm dying in here. I'm sick of this heat already. Talking about it just makes me... is just making me feel even hotter. The Academy should install an orbital air conditioner, at least when it'd be a little easier to cope. Then it'd be a little easier. An orbital air conditioner? What is that? Well, it's this device that blows out cool air to help regulate a room's temperature. Maybe it'd help if you think of it as the opposite of a stove. Well, that's some kind of wizardry. Maybe in their time. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be prohibitively expensive? Only the most modern buildings seem to be able to afford them. Do you have one in your house? Well, there's one in the Reinfer Company's corporate headquarters, yeah. It'd be nice if my mother could spare one, you know, for the academy she sits on the board of directors for. Seems a bit much to hope for. This is a military academy, so I doubt we can expect to be indulged quite that much. Still, a machine to help us keep cool in the summer. Whoever first invented that should get a medal. I'll admit, the summer heat here is more difficult to cope with than in legroom. But as long as I think of it as another part of my training, it doesn't bother me all that much. Laura, thinking about her training. Greyheart gets similar summer heat waves, but there's usually a breeze blowing in from the canyon at this time of year. That does make summers a bit easier to manage. My homedome's up in the mountains, so it's pretty cool even around this time of year. Actually, now that you mention it, I would have thought you three would go back home for the summer, being nobles and all. You were given permission, weren't you? If everyone else was going home, I would have considered it. But in the end, I decided against it. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago I got to see Elise. Maybe next year. I came here to train. Until I feel like I've made significant progress, I have no intention of returning home. Huh. Some of you saw my father's mansion. Do you think I'd go back to a place like that willingly? I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with heat stroke. Same, Akiya, same. You're really that uncomfortable at home, huh? Still, hot as it is, there's a lot going on right now. I doubt all the people headed to that conference at the end of the month have much time to be worrying about the heat. You make a good point. You're talking about the West Zemuria Trade Conference, right? That's the one. There's never been an international conference on that scale before, at least not in modern times. Mayor Dieter Croix, who also happens to be the International Bank of Crossbell CEO, was the one who first proposed it. I've heard that Prince Oliver will be attending on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor, and Chancellor Osborne is supposed to be attending too. Seems crazy to think how we met them both just a few weeks ago. The Chancellor in particular was a pretty intimidating figure. Seemed like a big, scary monster. I've heard he served in the Imperial Army before becoming a politician. Then 11 years ago, His Majesty entrusted him with the position of Chancellor. Supposedly, a full 70% of the Imperial Army is under his jurisdiction. Dang. His real fame comes from establishing most of the nation's railway network, centered on the capital, though he's been responsible for annexing several smaller countries and independent states from Erebonia. I believe those all took place without any bloodshed, though, at least as far as I'm aware. I would put too much stock in what he's selling. Military spending in this country has increased exponentially since he took up his position as Chancellor, and that's only possible thanks to the tax revenue he gleans from the people of Heimdall and those annexed nations. Well, he was the one who ordered the construction of those 2 railway guns. They've got pointed at Crossbell, too. At one point, Erebonia was on the verge of a full-scale war with Calvard because of those things. Oh yeah, I heard that it was actually Liberal that proposed a way to avoid an armed conflict. They ended up signing the non-aggression pact, right? Yeah, though as I'm sure you've noticed, there's still quite a bit of tension between the 2 countries. I wouldn't be surprised if the issue reared its head again during the trade conference. Oh, for sure. Chancellor Osborne's been a really popular figure in the capital, though. Popular enough that he seems to have a group of terrorists after him. He does seem to be the Imperial Liberation Front's main target, doesn't he? You know, the hammer of judgment that shall topper the dictator and all that? Indeed, they seem to harbor a deep-seated grudge against him. Their anger seemed a bit unusual in its intensity, didn't it? He does seem like the type who'd make a lot of enemies, especially with a face like that. Well, I'd rather not speak ill of my father's close ally, but... Come to think of it, isn't the instructor awfully late? It's past time for homeroom to start. True, should have started about 10 minutes ago, actually. I swear, that woman. She'd better not be sleeping off another hangover back at the dormitory. Wouldn't put it past her. I wish I could say there's no way our upstanding instructor would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Excuse me. I'll have you know I did no such thing. Today.
Today.
Instructor?
Good morning, instructor.
Looks like it was the afternoon, though.
Morning, everyone! Anyway, I'll have you know I've got a good reason for being late today. And that reason is, we're going to be welcoming a new classmate today.
Ooh. Actually, there's only one person. No, it couldn't be her. Don't.
What?
A transfer student at this time of year?
Seriously?
All right, come on in.
Righto.
Okay, I was wrong. Thank gosh.
Crow?
But isn't he a second-year student?
I'm Crow Armbrust. Starting today, I'll be joining you fine folks as a member of Class VII. It's gonna be pretty sweet, guys.
I love Crow. He's great.
What?
What? I mean, how?
Are you sure you want to know? It's a long tale fraught with the intrigue of school politics.
I don't think I'd put it quite like that. Back in his first year, he slacked off so much that he ended up failing a few of his classes. Then he came crying to me in a panic, like, "Oh, help me, Instructor Sarah. They're not gonna let me graduate." So as a special exception, he's going to be joining us for the next 3 months to pay for his laziness.
You can't be serious.
That's an even more pathetic reason than I was bracing myself for.
I think you already know that Crow was one of the trial users for the Arcus test they ran last year. So I thought he might be a good role model for you. In that sense, anyway.
Yeah, he's kind of the bad boy, though.
And don't forget, he'll also be joining us on our future field studies, too.
Ooh, and he's pretty overpowered, too. I mean, he's got the twin guns.
Nice. Looks like you saved me the trouble of having to explain it all. Anyway, let's let the good times roll. Oh, and since we're all classmates now, no need for all that sweet talking you lay on the other second years, all right?
Right. Easier said than done, I fear.
If he was any more laid back, he'd be comatose.
Instructor, I can't help but notice you left the door open.
We have another student.
Wait, is there someone else too?
Huh? Are you serious?
Oh, I was hoping to catch you off guard.
Don't tell me it's Angelica. No,
All right. Come on in and say hello.
I doubt it's Angie.
I thought you forgot I was out in the hall!
It's Milliam. She's like 12. Oh my word, she looks so different. She actually looks like a kid.
What?
What?
You must be joking.
Milliam?
Hey,
She's...
aren't you?
You're the girl we met in the Nord Highlands. Yuppers! Long time no see, guys. But I see a couple of you I don't know, so guess I better introduce myself. I'm Milliam Orion. And this here's Erebonia, but we'll just call him Lammy for short.
Lammy looks so awesome. He's so big and I want to hug him. Even though he probably kicked me through the window. Actually, he has like a little face. I just realized that. He even posed.
What the hell is that? Holy crap!
It's that thing we saw at Ark's fort.
So this is that strange girl you met in the Nord Highlands.
Oh, and a little house rule before anything gets blown up. No bringing that thing out in the classroom. If he accidentally smashes a wall or blasts through the ceiling, I'm the one who's gonna get chewed out for it.
Boo! Fine. Anyway.
I only see 10 seats and there's 9 of them. So there's now going to be 11. What was that?
Nice to meet you guys.
What was that? What was that spin?
Tell me you're kidding. Please?
I really wish I could.
Well, I can see we're in for some fun times these next 3 months.
Seriously, I only saw 10 desks. And now there's 11 of them. Well, the more the merrier. Oh, now we're going to Saturday. Alright. 3 days went by. First, no one was sure what to make of Crow Armbrust. And Crow and Milliam's son transferred to Class VII. But within a matter of days, it almost felt like they'd been there all along. I'm sure none of you need to be reminded that it was none other than Emperor Drycles who ended the War of the Lions. We're still talking about this frickin' war? Are you kidding me? But did you know that historical records tell us he had amazingly few soldiers under his command? Initially, his allies numbered only a few confident and several warriors from Nord. Confidence, I think it said. And while supporters rallied to him in each region, his rank still couldn't hope to compare to the other princes' armies. Nonetheless, they continued to advance, liberating region after region, and after half a year of bloody battles, Prince Drycles met perhaps his most well-known supporter. Milliam, right? Would you happen to know the historical figure to who I am referring? Sure I do. Leanne Sandlot, also known as the Lance Maiden. Oh, right you are. Well done. Sandlot was the daughter of a count who ruled over a remote region, and accounts tell us she showed great martial skill from a young age. Just like Milliam. In particular, her skill with the lance was unparalleled. No records exist of her ever being bested in combat. The Lance Maiden also had a group of mighty warriors under her command, who fought alongside her in battle. Perhaps you'd like to illuminate us on to the name of this famous band, Rean? Oh great, we're gonna fail. The group of mighty warriors led by the man saying what that's the... I want to say Girl Sweater, but I just remember sounds right. I'm gonna go with Girl Sweater. I don't think that's right, though. I'm pretty sure the second half, at least. I'm pretty sure they're called Eisenritter. Eisenritter, also known as the Iron Knights. Okay, so my second guess was right. Said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all in their path. Correct, you've done your homework. The Wandering Prince met the Lance Maiden one day during a prolonged something. I skipped it. After recognizing each other as a reliable and trustworthy, they pledged to fight together under a united banner. With the Lance Maiden and her knights bolstering his ranks, Draco's army swept through one region after another. In just a year, he was able to defeat the other princes and free the imperial capital, Heimdall. As an interesting footnote, the castle the Eisenritter used as their base operation 250 years ago just so happens to be only a hop, skip, and jump away from Laura's home in Legroom. Indeed, it's known as Lohengrin Castle. It's a beautiful old building situated on the shore of Lake Ebel, to the west of Legroom. Oh, you've mentioned that before. Does anyone live there now? No, due to the dangerous terrain there, no one goes near it these days. It exists simply as a relic of a bygone age. The Arseed family is responsible for the care and maintenance of the castle, though really only minimal work is done. Speaking of the Arseed house, wasn't one of your ancestors the Eisenritter's second in command? Indeed, the Lance Maiden's most trusted assistant and confided from what I understand. The Sandlot family line ended with the death of the Lance Maiden. As partially because of that, the Arseed family mourns her death each year. Interesting. Crow's asleep. I see. Ooh, what a fascinating story. Crow is out cold in the back. Crow, you need to stop slacking off, man. I love Milliam's little hat. It's so cute. Legroom, huh? Never had a mission there, so I've never been able to go. Maybe I should have stopped by when I went to Brayheart a while back. Oh my gosh. He's out cold. You'd think she'd at least try to conceal the fact that she gets sent all over the country on secret missions. I know, she totally just let it slip that she was doing something in Brayheart too. Well, I suppose it's better than her being all distant and cagey around us. True. Crow needs to stop slacking off, though. Crow's gonna fail. Oh, he's awake now. Okay, so tomorrow's a free day, which means that next Wednesday you'll have your usual practice exam. You better all bring your A game. Oh, Milliam and Crow? A few must-have instructional materials you guys are going to need as part of Class 7 finally showed up. I'll hand the stuff off to you once we're done here, so I want you to come with me to the faculty lounge. Righto. Man, what a drag. Alright, homeroom's out for the day. Flee! Flee while you can. My kiss if you'll do the honors. As instructor. All rise. Bow. And kiss her hand. Just kidding. So, what do you think? Well, I don't think we'd have to be on our guard around her at least. Same. Though I'd rather she kept that giant silver thing of hers hidden. I don't think she's a bad girl. I was taking a nap in the courtyard yesterday and she came and fell asleep next to me. What does that have to do with whether or not she's trustworthy? They look like a couple of kittens all curled up together. Their personalities may be worlds apart, but they're both rather cat-like in their own ways. She can't be more than 12 or 13, still practically a child. Yeah, you're right. She's so chipper all the time that it's hard to really be cold toward her. Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to spurn her. She's got this natural charm, I think. Spurn. Now, I haven't heard that word in a long time. Or ever. Be that as it may, her presence here reeks of blood and iron, if you take my meaning. Well, it certainly seems that way.
As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance.
That hat, yeah.
I should have it ready for you in a few weeks' time.
That has to be what it was. It's hard to believe a girl like that could be an agent of the intelligence division. Just going off what happened in Nord, there's not much that would make me doubt it now. Then there's the thing, Erigetlam. That's always with her. She calls it Lammy, but aside from its name, we don't really know anything about it. It seems to be made of some strange material with both metallic and ceramic properties. Hard, but pliable. Agreed. Doesn't look like anything you could make even with the most cutting-edge Orbital technology. When I touched it, it felt really nice and cold. Wow, so you actually touched it? It hasn't escaped my notice that it seems strikingly similar to the combat shells we fight in our practical exams. I think it's safe to assume that they share some kind of common origin. Yeah. The instructor said she was forced to accept it, though in a sense Milliam was forced on us too. You're welcome to think what you will, but I don't trust her. I understand, Marcus. Either way, she's technically our classmate now, like it or not. It may be a little early to tell whether we can trust her as a friend, but we should be able to figure out pretty quickly whether we can count on her as a member of Class VII. Ah. Well, that's a logical way of breaking it down, at least. You're right, it's pretty early to make sweeping judgments. Knowing her background would be great, but what's really important is whether we can count on her in a fight. Agreed. As students of a military academy, that's probably the most important issue. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Well, considering we're living in the same dormitory, it'd be good if we all get along. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to think we're trying to make her feel unwelcome either. And then there's Crow. Actually, real quick, I think I know where... Okay. I think I've got all their living situations figured out. Crow's gonna live across from Rean. And then... Milliam's gonna live across from Sarah. That's my guess. And what's he like, Rean? You seem like you get along with him pretty well. I don't know if I'd put it quite like that. If I had to say, I describe him as a capricious gambling addict way too prone to ant up for every hand. ADOs help us. He sounds like the kind of miscreant one would be better off avoiding. You can count on him when the chips are down, though. He really helped me out last month when at least went into the old schoolhouse. He's good in a fight and pretty handy with his Arcus, too. Maybe we're worrying over nothing, then. Still, I'm not really sure how to connect with him, you know? Well, at least we're in separate dorms for the time being. We'll just have to see how things go. Separate dorms? I thought we were in the same dorm, just separate floors. Is that what you mean? I'm confused. Oh, is this from Sarah?
Hello, Rean Schwarzer speaking.
I swear if it's Sarah.
Oh, hi there, Rean.
I think that's Toa?
Do you have a moment?
That's definitely Toa.
Toa? Well, this is a surprise. What can I do for you?
You've got a new student in your class now, right? Well, her student notebook is ready, so I figured it'd be best to get it to her as soon as possible. And since you handled it last time, would you mind coming to get it for her?
Oh, you're talking about Milliam. Sure thing. I'll come get it right away. You want me to swing by the student council room then?
That'd be great. Thanks.
She sure doesn't waste any time. I should head on over to the student council room before it gets too late.
Well, that was just a short little thing. Let's see. Anyone on this floor? There's a lot of people on 2F. Actually, they're on the same floor that I'm on. Yeah, so that's to increase the quest. Peace in the garden. Actually, we're on the second floor, Dirt. So just the... Actually, well, there's a lot of the group. Okay, so Emma and she and Emma are there. Elliot's in the music room, guys in the art room. Well, we'll just talk to these two. Actually, gotta go around the other way. Class 7's a whole lot livelier these days, isn't it? Even putting Crow aside, I never would have expected some girl we met in Nord would become our classmate. Life is full of surprises. Feels like they've already become part of the fabric of our class, too. Definitely. I don't think we should have any trouble getting along with them. Well, for now at least. You two seem more like reasonable adults than any of us, Instructor Sarah included. You think you can look after Milliam? Not a problem. We're all classmates after all. Helping each other is what we do. Okay, that was... Okay. Oh, windows down. Someone on the roof? No one is on the rooftop. No one of... Yeah, so no one. Actually, I don't think I really looked off over in this direction. Actually, where is the... Actually, I think that's Fee down there. Yeah, down at the garden club. Alright, let's just go to the student union and get this over with.